I'm Samuel, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science. I am handling computer architecture and organization. Today we are going to see what is meant by a computer architecture and organization and also the evolution of the processor. First we will see what is a computer architecture. The architecture is those attributes which is visible to the programmer or visible to the particular the user is called as a computer architecture. For example, instruction set, number of bits used for data representation, the I/O mechanisms, the addressing techniques, various addressing techniques. We have the immediate, the direct, the indirect. So these are the addressing techniques we have used. So computer organization. The organization is that the features which are implemented. In other words, we can say the attributes which are not visible to the programmer is called as a computer organization. So organization means it is used to implement the features and which is not visible to the programmer. For example, control signals, we have the memory technologies, we have the interfaces which are not visible to the programmer. This is about the introduction of the subject, the computer architecture and the organization. The computer architecture is visible to the programmer, whereas the computer organization which is not visible to the programmer. Now we will see the processor, the evolution of processor. We have two kinds of processor. We have the Pentium, the processor, and the next one is the PowerPC, the PowerPC processor. Okay, now we will see about the Pentium processor, which is widely used in the world. Around 90 to 95% of people are using, which is manufactured by a popular brand, the Intel. The Intel manufactured this Pentium processor. Now we will get into the evolution or the generations of Pentium processor. Before that, we will see generation of the Pentium processor in the year 1973. 8080, it has been named as 80. In those days, the the numbers played a huge role, a major role. That is why they have named it in numbers. 8080, which is the first general purpose processor or the microprocessor which is used in a personal computer. In the 1970s, we had the Altair computer, which is manufactured or built by the IBM, which is it supports 8-bit data bit or data path. And after the second generation, or after the 5 years in 1978, we had the much more powerful microprocessor than the 8080, which is 8086, which is named as 8086, which has 16-bit data path, which has the prefetch instructions. The next one is the third generation of processors, 8286, which was invented in 1982, which can it is addressable up to 16 MB memory, which is more powerful than the 8086. And we had after 3 years, the technology has improved, and the 8386 in the 1985, the year 1985, they have invented 8386, which consists of 32-bit, and also the first processor to support multitasking. And in the year 1989, they have invented the 8486, which is the fifth generation of processor. That this is the first processor which consists of co-processor. That is, it has a built-in max co-processor, which is the most sophisticated, powerful instruction pipeline. So these are the first 5 generations of Pentium processor. Now, named as Pentium I, Pentium II, Pentium III. The internet, the coming of user-friendly OS. So they thought this number series doesn't popularize in the world. So they have named as Pentium. So now we will see why they have named as Pentium. The name Pentium is originally derived from the Greek word that is penti, that is 5. It has a reference why it has been they have chosen as Pentium. Pentium means 5, which means prior to this processor we have 5 processors from 80, 82, 84, 84, 86. We had we had 5 processors. So that is why they have chosen as Pentium, Penti, and then those number series are these numeric naming convention they have came to an end. That is why they have chosen a word in Latin "eum." That is, it translates in English as ending. So Pentium has evolved. In the year 1993, they have named in words. That is named in words. Before that, we had the numeric. Now we have the name Pentium I. It supports multiple instructions that can be executed in parallel. We can parallelly execute multiple instructions. And in the year 1997, the first processor which supported graphics, video, and audio processing, or you can say multimedia technology, which supported. And in the year 1993, we had the Pentium III, and which supported 3D graphics, the first processor to support 3D graphics. And then it goes on from Pentium 4 to from core to Rio. We have the dual core, we have the core to Rio. Now we have the I series, the I3, the I7, we have the I9. So it has been increased. So year by year, the what you call the performance of the processor has been increased. The number of the multitasking has been improved. The multi-program has been improved. The performance of the computer or the system has been improved. So this is a Pentium, the processor, the Pentium processor evolution, which is mainly used in Microsoft products. Now we are going to see the PowerPC processor, which is widely used, but it used RISC, that is RISC, RISC. The Pentium used complex instruction set computing, whereas the PowerPC used as RISC. Why is that? What is the difference between RISC and the CISC? CISC, complex instruction set computing, there's a wide range of what you call as options available, wide range of instruction cycle, wide range of operation. Whereas in RISC, the PowerPC, which is simpler in structure, which doesn't have a lot of options, which doesn't have the instructions to be the instruction set available. So that is why the Pentium processor is more popular than the PowerPC popular. So coming back to PowerPC, the application of PowerPC's performance optimization with enhanced width is which is invented in 1975 by IBM, a project that is invented by the person Berkeley. It is first used in Apple Macintosh, and same like Pentium, other than same like Pentium, in the year 1993, it has been introduced as 601. They have started from number series 601, 603, 604, and they have named as generation 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we are in the G5 or G7 or G6 in the current scenario. So 601 has been introduced, which is the 32-bit machine, whereas in Pentium we had from the 8 to 16 to 32 from 62. But PowerPC has introduced the first processor as a 32-bit machine, and then we had in 1993 we had the what you call it as the 32-bit, and then we had the 64, which is more greater performance than the other processor, and then we had in 1984 we had the 6020, which supports 64-bit architecture. Even in Pentium, it takes around 2003 to have the 64-bit architecture. So the IBM, they have definitely evolved over the years. And after 740 or 750, the 740, the 740 or 750, from the year 2001, they have named as in the word as a G4 and G5, and the G5, which supports the 64-bit organization, which has the more powerful processor, because in the year 2000, 2003, we had the coming age of internet. We are in the age of internet. Now, the PowerPC is in the 10th or 7th generation, in the 10th generation. So they are using 10th generation. So this is about the evolution of processor, the main two processor, which has dominated the world. We had the Pentium processor, which is dominating the world. We had the PowerPC processor. This is about. Thank you so much. And